There we go. Can you guys hear me? Are we back? All right. That was pretty weird. My live stream software just crashed on me. Apparently they didn't want you guys learning about passive income opportunities and sovereign finances. It's a touchy subject, you know. The banks are like, shut them down. All right. Where were we? Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome, Angelito, Andy, Crystal. Yeah, thank you for the audio, guys. Thank you. All right. Let's get back into it. Where were we? There we go. Thank you for posting that link, Angelito. So, yeah, I pretty much finished explaining that. Like, you can get it on OpenSea or Rarible. Just make sure you find the right one. Make sure it's made from Flare Finance and the Loyalists Collection. Oh, man. Looks like my, wow. My internet's just frozen. Interesting. All right, we're gonna have to push on without the internet because they don't want me using the internet apparently. Let's see if any of my internets work. Oh, there we go. Okay, we just have to. Let's see what we're going to talk about. We're still going to talk about Keanu Inu and Flare. So that was about it as far as the link tabs, but we'll just talk more instead of showing internet stuff. So let's see, Songbird. I'll bring up one thing. We'll see if this works. So let's talk about Songbird. Songbird is the test network for Flare. And this is already live and you can already start making passive income off of this. I just got my first passive income drop today. And it was like 2%. So literally Songbird is giving out 2% of your investment in rewards every week. That's a lot. And that's why when we were looking at the rewards for Flare, when Flare actually comes out, if it maintains that, and I'm hearing it could be even higher, the rewards are going to be like off the charts, maybe literally. So let's see. I think I got the internet working. I have to do a different page though. Bear with me for a sec. It might look all glitchy. There we go. I highly recommend the DeFiStandard.com and the DeFi Standard YouTube, aka Mickey B Fresh. They do a great job of breaking down the rewards and all the different systems within Flare and Songbird in flowcharts. So XFi is what they're calling that's what Flare Finance is calling the experimental finance of the Songbird network and what they're doing on it. And we have another airdrop upcoming. So this is something I wanted to mention too, is that for Songbird holders, there's an airdrop coming up. And I'm going to pull up that article. This is going to take place, I believe, on November 5th. And you're going to get like one, what they're calling XFi token for, it's like every 240, man, I can't find it, but that's okay. Those Medium articles are really hard to find. For like every 240 Songbird you hold, you're going to get like one XFi token. And then the XFi tokens are going to be used for a number of different things within the XFi ecosystem on Flare Finance, which again it's the experimental side that goes with Songbird. That's basically preceding what's going to happen on the Flare networks. And that is going to be taking place, I believe, on the 5th. So all you will have to do is just to have your Songbird in either the Bifrost wallet or the Descent wallet. Okay, if this is something that sounds totally foreign to you, but you want to partake in this, hit me up. book a one-on-one session. I'll walk you through this whole thing. I'll walk you through how to get Songbird if you didn't get any from the airdrop from XRP Flare Snapshot. I'm going to show you how to buy it. I'll show you how to transfer it to the right wallet, like Bifrost wallet or another one, to delegate your vote, your FTSO vote, so that you can create the passive income. And to put it really simply for people that already kind of get it but just need a little bit of help, if you have your Songbird, what you can do is you buy, if you have a Songbird already, you can send it to the Bifrost wallet, create a wallet on Bifrost, send it over there, and all you do is you wrap the Songbird on the Bifrost wallet. It's pretty easy. Make sure you don't wrap all of them because you need a few Songbird to unwrap them. So leave like 5 Songbird or so unwrapped. Wrap the majority of them, and then once they're wrapped, you can delegate it to 2 different service providers. And what this means is that you are providing basically what they're calling a vote, but what you're actually doing is delegating your it's really hard to explain technically how it's working, but essentially these third-party groups that you're delegating your Songbird to for the vote, they are providing the Flare network, the Flare time series oracle, with up-to-date data about the market, and they're providing market data in real time to the FTSO. And so this is something that we can do as individuals too, but it's like really, really hard and we don't know how to really do it. So we essentially just delegate this to these bigger groups that know how to do it and are doing it accurately, because it's quite the job to actually like provide an accurate, FTSO update. And so there's a number of different groups on there, including Bifrost Wallet. Trying to see if I can find there is a link somewhere, I don't know it off the top of my head, that tells you all the different delegation providers. But essentially you delegate to 1 or 2 different groups, and then on a weekly basis you get rewards paid out from this group as they're being paid out from Flare. So for instance, I this morning received like a little bit of Songbird sent straight to my Bifrost wallet. It happens once a week. This is the first time it happened for me. All I did was click claim, and then immediately it puts it back into the delegation pool. So you're actually compounding interest. So even though you're making 2% a week, you're making 2% of a larger amount every week if you reinvest your rewards into the same delegation system. And like we said, this is 2% a week, which is really, really high. If you think about, I think Algorand is like 6% a year APY. 2% a week, you could do that in 3 weeks. That's pretty crazy. So again, the more value you have in Songbird, the more rewards too, but also be careful because you don't want to put all your money in Songbird because it is experimental. There are bugs, and they do admit that the Songbird token may even totally go away. They have full control to do that. So it is much higher risk, but with that risk, there are higher rewards. And if you want to just kind of play it safer instead and not mess around with this stuff, I would say educate yourself on this system, like, these kind of flow charts. And this is something, we'll be going really in depth on in my course. If you want to pre-register for that, send me an email. But when you want to be prepared when Flare comes out, because these rewards are just going to be insanely high, and there's going to be multiple avenues. So you have the FTSO delegation vote, which we're doing on Songbird, and then you're also going to have the governance vote, and then you're going to have your F assets. If you've got XRP, you'll be able to mint them into F assets and make passive income just by holding those F assets. And then alternatively, you could take those F assets over to Flare Finance and stake them in the yield farm and make potentially more on top of that. They haven't announced yet, I think, if you're able to stack those rewards from Flare and Flare Finance, like with the F assets, for instance, if you can make both the Flare networks passive income and also the Flare Finance passive income. I think there's still, that's still up in the air. But on top of that, if you're a Spark holder, or if you buy Spark, aka Flare, when it drops, you will be able to make passive income from that as well by being an agent and delegating your Spark for collateral in the minting process. So what we're seeing is this 2% from Songbird is only one of several streams of passive income that we're going to be generating. And this is how you create generational wealth, right? Like this is how you do it. Not only are we investing in these projects that we know are going to be huge and that are really, you know, underground right now and not well known in the mainstream, but on top of that, we're going to be able to not only make the rewards from the increase in the market value like XRP mooning, but we're going to be able to compound and stake all of this into passive income generators. And then, you know, you can live your life probably off of this kind of passive income and not really ever have to have a job if you've got enough staked in these systems. And this is the kind of thing that'll defeat the bear market too, because if you have enough utility, you're not going to really fall into the bear market if there is enough demand for the utility, which I really think is what they're creating here. So yeah, that's pretty dope. I'm excited for that. Angelito says, does the airdrop differentiate between Songbird and wrapped Songbird, or does it combine the total of the two? That's a good question. I'm going to check my app right now. So when I got the rewards, my rewards were sent as Songbird and not wrapped Songbird. But the way that you would go and redelegate that would be to then wrap the Songbird that you just received as rewards, and then they're automatically delegated. I'm from what I understand. Yeah, you wouldn't have to go and redelegate because they're already, it just becomes a part of that larger wrapped Songbird that you've already wrapped, but now there's just more wrapped, and it's wrapping it's delegating 100% of what you have wrapped. So all you have to do is wrap your airdrops, and then it'll be compounding. Was that your question? I'm sorry if I misinterpreted that. Rupee asks, where do you buy crypto? Is there good free wallets to buy most of the cryptos? So the two exchanges that I recommend for people as a good diversity intro to the space to be able to get, you know, a good diverse amount of coins, I recommend Coinbase as like, you know, the main easy beginner's way to get into buying crypto. Make an account with Coinbase. They're an American-based, really big platform. I'm not a big fan of Coinbase in the sense that I feel like they're like they're like the Facebook of crypto, but I give them the benefit of the doubt that, you know, they are really easy to get into when you're starting, and they have a good variety of cryptos. So I recommend that for beginners. Uphold is the second one I recommend, and if you want to buy XRP, you have to get it on Uphold. If you do get on Uphold, make sure that, you know, there's two ways to purchase. You can either link your bank or you can link your debit card. If you link your debit/credit card, you get $500 maximum a day that you can purchase. Alternatively, if you want to purchase more than $500, you have to link your bank, but then they hold your crypto for 60 days. So be aware of that if you buy using your bank account on Uphold, they will make you hold it for 60 days, which I'm not a big fan of. But an alternative to that for more advanced users would be, if you want to put in, say, a couple thousand into XRP and you can't do that on Uphold, buy a bunch of XLM on Coinbase, send it over to BitTrue, and swap that into XRP. And then you can send your XRP to your private wallet. And then as far as wallets, what I recommend for people are the Decent wallet. I recommend the Decent over the Ledger. I've got both, but the Ledger, I've just found Ledger has more problems. Their data's been hacked, not like people's crypto stolen, but like just personal data, like, you know, name, address, that kind of stuff. Ledger Nano, you also have to use your computer. Actually, I think the Bluetooth one, you don't have to use the computer, but I like this one better, the Decent, because it's got a fingerprint scanner. So if anyone wants to take your crypto, they're going to need your finger. And on top of that, the Decent wallet is going to be compatible with the new modules coming up with Flare and Flare Finance. So you're going to get the airdrop if you have your Songbird on Decent wallet. You'll also be able to, in the future, delegate your Songbird and your Flare straight from the Decent wallet. And I think you'll also be able to do your minting, F-asset minting on the Decent wallet as well. So Decent I recommend because of all that, but they also have a free app, software wallet, a soft wallet that is a free app, DCENT, Decent. And then if you want to upgrade and get more security, these hardware wallets are like $120 right now. So that's what you're working with on that level. Oh, cool. You got the OpenSea NFT app. Awesome. Earthworth says it's pretty early, but any word on which oracles are the most lucrative to delegate to? So, okay, so just to explain what he's talking about real quick, these different service providers to delegate to, you kind of are playing a little bit of like a which one is going to give you better payouts, because basically the better the group is at being accurate at reporting the market to the FTSO, to Flare, the more rewards they get, which means the more rewards you get. So basically you want to go with the group that's doing the best, but at the same time, the bigger groups distribute their rewards amongst more people. So you're getting less rewards overall if there's more people delegated to the bigger group. So that's kind of the trade-off. And there's like for that reason, I went with one big one. I went with the Bifrost wallet, and then I went with one small one, which for me, I did they were called Best FTSO. And originally I went with a different one that was called like Oraculus or something like that. And it was because I had heard it was a more lucrative one and I thought it would do better. And I don't actually know specifically what the rewards were from each one, but I ended up redelegating that one to the Best FTSO. That's literally what it's called, Best FTSO, because they offer NFTs to people that are delegating to them. So they give away NFTs like, I forget if it's like once a week or once a month, but they're giving away NFTs that could have, you know, more value in the future if they continue to be a big group. And I thought that was cool, and I liked the vibes of them too. And Flare Community, who's a good YouTube channel who is really awesome, he's a part of the Best FTSO group, so I thought I'd support him too. Those are the two that I don't get it to. Also the Bifrost and Best FTSO. Oh, I see. You said you were talking in regards to the XFi airdrop on November 5th. You mean like wait, what about the airdrop? As far as delegating with the airdrop? Brain fart here. Let's see. So I think I covered everything about Songbird that I wanted to hit. Roop, it's spelled, it's decent, but without that E after the D. You take out the E, so it's D apostrophe CENT, like that. And the app will have that logo on the app too. So Pete says, have you read about Doge GF? No, but I have heard of Doge TF, I think it is. Is that the one you're talking about? The one on the Stellar network? Okay, I'm gonna switch up our scenery, and I think I'm gonna fly to Egypt. Let's see. Oh, we've arrived in Egypt. Good vibes. I like my spaceship. Are you guys digging the spaceship? We got XRP. Oh, I should make this XRP in the corner like a chart. If I could make it a live chart, that'd be super cool. I just had a ton of fun messing around with this morning. Making a little spaceship. Captain of my own ship here. Yeah, Wild Sense, the Decent app version is free and great, he says. It is. It's super easy to use and very fluid. And then it's easy to just upgrade to the hardware wallet and you know how to use it. The only complaint I have about the Decent app is that I've noticed, not just with me, but with other people, that it's kind of buggy. Like, do you guys notice just buggy in terms of when you try to click on things sometimes? It's like You have to click a couple times before the cursor actually registers. It's the only complaint I have, and it's not too bad, but it is a little bit annoying. Doge has a girlfriend on MetaMask, huh? I haven't heard of that. But good time to talk about Keanu Inu. So, you know me, I'm not really one to shill coins. I'll tell you guys about, like, you know, the utility of XRP and Flare and all that stuff, but I don't really talk about like the meme coin kind of gambling stuff too much. But I think this is a fun one to talk about. So, you know, there's a lot of hype around Shiba right now. Of course, Doge was the big hype a couple months ago, and now it's like everyone and their mom knows about Shiba. And I've had, like, you know, I have some friends that are like, you know, late 60s. I'm thinking of one person in particular, a friend in town here, who's like an older guy. He's like my wizard grandpa. And I've been trying to get him to buy XRP for a while and get into crypto. And he's just like, man, you know, that generation, they don't vibe with it as much, which I totally get. But something about Shiba, he calls me up and he's like, how do I get Shiba? I need to get Shiba. And another friend, same thing, was like, I'm having these crazy synchronicities about Shiba. How do I get Shiba? And literally both of these guys, one's my age, one is my adopted grandpa basically. And both of them had a synchronicity where they were thinking about Shiba, the coin, and somebody walked up to them with an actual Shiba Inu dog. And it was both like, for both of them, it was super profound. So Shiba's got all this hype, and it's like, you know, it's really reaching the mainstream in a way that is really interesting. And I think, like Doge, it's kind of being used to get people into crypto in like a friendly way. And a lot of people are against these meme coins because, you know, I get it. Like the people who are more into the utility coins, they kind of see this as like a joke and, you know, shill coin or trash or whatever, which, you know, they probably are, in the sense that in the long term, I don't know if these coins are going to make it through regulations. Probably not. But I think they do provide us a short-term opportunity to do a little bit of, like, you know, high risk trading. Honestly, it's kind of like gambling in a way with these meme coins. Like, it's kind of like 5D gambling, where for me at least, I'll get like a crazy intuitive hit, like about this, for instance, and just be like, all right, I'm going to put, you know, a small bag in it, and I'm okay if this goes to zero. If this goes to zero, I'm not going to be devastated. But if it goes to the moon, ooh, I'm going to have a pretty bag to put back into XRP, you know, to reinvest. So that's my thoughts here. And the reason why Keanu over Shiba is because Shiba's already kind of peaking right now. You know, like Shiba's got, people made their money off Shiba months ago, and now it's like kind of the mainstream thing, similar with Doge. So Keanu is a far lower market cap. Keanu's 10 million market cap, give or take, right now. Shiba is like 10 billion market cap, and then Doge is like 50 billion or something. So this is really, really small. If you actually go, let's see if we can actually get BitTrue to load. It wasn't loading earlier, but if you go and you look at it on BitTrue, which is where you can get it, you can get it on either BitTrue or Uniswap. But yeah, BitTrue has just not been loading for me all day. I don't know why. Real quick tip, if you guys get the Brave browser, which you see here, they pay you in crypto for using. Like, see, I've got rewards here. For this month, I guess I've only earned 20 cents. But usually you make, like, I don't know, like 20 bucks a month or something just browsing. Very strange. I don't know why BitTrue isn't loading. But you can get Keanu on BitTrue. What I wanted to show you was that... Now my whole internet is being weird. What I wanted to show you was that the trading volume is really low. Like, there's not a lot of people trading. It's like one purchase or sell every few minutes. So on that level, it has a really big opportunity in that if it takes off, you know, it could move easily 100x, which at first when I heard that, I was like, that's crazy. But if it had the, let's see, if it had the market cap of Shiba, that would be 1,000x. So if it gets to be as popular as Shiba, it'll move 1,000x market cap wise. I don't know if it will be that popular, but I think it has a good opportunity to, and I'm going to tell you why. For one, you get rewards. You get daily rewards based on every transaction. So every transaction on the network, 2% of those transactions get paid back out to the holders. So if you're holding it in the right place, unfortunately, they don't support this on BitTrue. Like BitTrue, I'm assuming, is just taking the rewards for themselves. But if you put it into a private wallet, which I haven't actually done yet myself because the gas fees are pretty high. But if you do that, you'll get 2%. 2% of every transaction gets redistributed to all the users. So you'll see your value go up in your private wallet, which is pretty cool. Can't say the same about Shiba, Doge, or any of those. They also give to charity. Now, for me, this is kind of like I don't look at that and go, that's awesome, because I know most charities are corrupted, just to be straight up. Most are. But this is huge for the mainstream, because if you look at, people are getting into Doge, people are getting into Shiba, it's the meme culture and they're excited about it. So if you combine the ability to do, on the surface level, this is a service to other, I don't want to assume that every charity they're going to be working with is bad, but I just know like a lot of them are corrupt. But on the surface level, people feel like they're doing a service to others when they're donating to charity. So that's another incentive for people to invest. If they know that by buying Keanu Inu, the mainstream kind of people, that they're going to be contributing to charity, that's pretty big. And I think that's a bullish, positive thing for, the general community. What's up, Brooke? Good to see you. Right now, for you guys just joining, we're talking about this this crypto that I've recently put a small bit in that I think it's high risk, but I think it could be a very good opportunity in terms of meme coins, and it's a solid alternative to Doge and Shiba that has not popped yet. So that's what we're talking about. So we get rewards, charity, community driven, which I think part of that is that the team, the developers, do not have bags themselves, or they don't have like majority bags, so they can't dump on us, which is what a lot of the small tokens will do. Is the coins start to get big, and then the people who created it just sell them all and screw over their community. I feel this actually does have a solid community, and they have a Telegram and everything, and they're still pretty small, but they're picking up. And then they say it's secure and safe. Keanu's audited by a third-party firm. I don't know how that works, but we also renounced ownership of the contract and burned LP coins. So like over half the coins have been burned already since they've been minted. I guess these are two of the charities that they're donating to, Hope for Paws and Starlight. I'm not familiar with them myself. I think I've heard of Hope for Paws, but these will expand later when more people come in too, and they can choose what charities, I think. So there's only 20,000-ish holders right now. That's really small. Overall, there's 52 quadrillion coins. So there's more of these coins than there are really any of the other dog coins. So for like a couple $100, you can get like over 1 trillion coins. Which is, it's the first coin I've held where I've had over 1 trillion of one coin, and I've been like, wow, that's a lot. That's pretty trippy. So it's not the kind of thing you're ever going to see like get to $1. It's always going to probably be like fractions, but it doesn't matter like as far as that, because there's more coins, it's going to be less value per coin. There's less coins, it'll be more value per coin. And you can get it on, I recommend getting it on BitTrue, but if you're an Ethereum person, you can get it on Uniswap via MetaMask with ETH, but ETH, you pay all those gross fees. So I recommend getting it on BitTrue if you're going to get it. They also are doing NFTs where they're creating their very own NFT collection where the revenue for every sale will be shared between the creator and the Keanu charity wallet. So it's like artists will create NFTs for the network that will be sold, and half will be given to charity and half will be given to the creator. So it's pretty cool. And then they've got a moon map, which is like their, you know, destination with what their goals are. They've just did this one. They've got new website, 10,000 holders, 5,000 Telegram members, listing on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, NFTs, and next they're going to be launching the Keanu Swap decentralized exchange. They want 10,000 Telegram members, 30,000 holders, and I guess purchasing with credit card. And then phase 4 is when the utility really comes in. NFT marketplace, Keanu charities, Keanu merch, influencer deals, blah, blah, blah. So influencer deals, I don't know if they're going to actually get Keanu, but like what I'm thinking is when the Matrix comes out in 2 months, that could be pretty good for this, you know? Like if the hype of Shiba's died down and people like it just seems like there's a lot that give it a pretty good opportunity to do well. And again, I don't know that this is going to make it in the long term. Like to me, this is not like a long-term investment. This is more of like a swing trade that you would call it. That's how I'm treating it. So like, you know, I bought it like a couple days ago, and I'm going to hold it until like I feel intuitively like it's a good time to sell it, and then I'll sell it probably back into something else. But maybe it will be a long-term thing. Maybe it really will kind of maintain itself like Doge, and you know, maybe these dog coins really are going to be a new form of currency for people on the like peer-to-peer level. I could actually see that happening. So I'm still not able to get BitTrue to load, but one of the things I wanted to show you on BitTrue, I wonder if their website's down. Is it down for you guys? Not the app, but the website itself. It's very strange. What was I going to say? Oh, one of the things on BitTrue was I actually caught this. So I made a post on Instagram about like just being really grateful for crypto and like how crypto's changed my life, and I've been able to you know, like continue to lead a self-employed life and not have to go back to a 9-to-5 and like get to create the life I want because of the freedom that this has given me. And you know, I'm not like, you know, I'm not like rich, but you know, I'm doing better than I've ever done before on that kind of level. Just like from, you know, the jobs I've worked at before, I'm making more with crypto than I have before, which is nice. And so anyway, I was making a post about being grateful about that, and then I look up at my screen and Keanu was just like 4 times. It just went up like 400%. It was like, you know, it was doing its thing, and then poof, and everything relative to that was just like a flat line. And if I was quick and I was, you know, not concerned with taking a screenshot and posting it, I probably should have sold it in that moment and then bought back in, because like a minute later it immediately retraced and then went back down to, you know, where it was chilling at before. But it basically did like a pretty instant volatile like 400% pump out of nowhere. And I see that as a good sign too. And then on top of that, I wish I could show you guys this, but the depth chart on BitTrue. Oh, is it going to work now? I think it might be working now. Let's see, at least XRP is. Let's see if Keanu will show up. The depth chart on BitTrue is really bullish. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so right now we're sitting at 30. I'm just going to call it 30. You know, it's like fractions, multi-fractions of a cent, but we're sitting at 30. This is that spike I was talking about. Isn't that crazy? It's just doing its thing, boop, 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 and then bam! And I literally caught it. I literally made that post and then looked up and it had just done that. And so if I was smarter, I could have sold it, but I was just like, I was pretty dumbfounded, and I was like, oh, I gotta like screenshot it. And I was hoping it was just going to keep pumping, but then, you know, it went right back down. But we're already getting like little mini bullish pumps again. So I think this is a good sign that this is like really, you know, it's a good thing. This could have been from like one person putting in a couple $1,000s, like, you know, I don't know, maybe tens of thousands or something. But, you know, if a big investor comes in and does something like that, it could do that again. And that was 400% in like a minute. And then the depth chart to show you guys, this is an indication of, these are the limit orders that people have set. So this is not what people are doing right now, but this is the limit orders that people have set as triggers. So this means that this has more back end support than it does front end support. So this means that this is bullish. This means that we have a better chance of going up because there's more support on. So this means if the price goes down, these are all orders that would get triggered to buy in. And alternatively, if the price goes up, these are sell orders that would move the price down. So the fact that there's way more buy orders relative to sell orders is a good sign. And if you compare that to like Shiba, at least yesterday, Shiba was like the opposite. Okay, well, Shiba's doing better now, honestly. But still, look, like it has almost a bigger sell wall than it does a buy wall. But yesterday, Shiba was like down here on the buy wall. So just that's like a trick to use when you're looking at the charts, looking at the depth. And you can find that right here next to K-line takes you to the main one, and then depth takes you to that. So, okay, I'm going to answer your guys' comments now. Toshi says, guys, please do videos about Keanu. We need more attention. Yeah, I know a bunch of the Kangs are like pumping it up and making a bunch of memes and stuff too. They're all into it. Jeff says, do you trade Keanu on the daily or you hodl? I hodl. I just have been like putting like when I see it go down, I've just been putting like a little more in, you know. I haven't felt too confident with like day trading kind of things, although it's something I want to start learning more. But I'm mainly like a dollar cost average kind of person where I'll just like, you know, I'll put some in. If it goes down, I'll put a little more in. If it goes up, I usually hold. If I see it go down, I'll put a little more in. And then like, you know, if it gets to a point in a couple weeks where I feel like I should sell it, then, you know, I'll probably sell it and put it into something else. But this might be one that I might hold till like December because, you know, we got to wait for the Matrix movie. I feel like that's when it's really going to pump. Pete Swanson says, do you trade using the lunar phase for microcycle highs and lows? I don't, but that's something I've recently had my awareness shift to, is the lunar cycles and how they're affecting crypto. And I've only heard that recently, so it's something I'm going to start paying more attention to. But I've heard that generally we're getting the highs on the new moon and we're getting the lows on the full moon. So, yeah. Have you guys noticed that at all yourselves? You know, earlier we talked about the sun changing it, so it makes sense that, you know, all the astrology in general would be affecting these, not just the sun. Hey Lala, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Brooke, you can buy it on BitTrue right here, but do not use, for everybody, do not buy through the BitTrue website. You have to get the app, and that's because they're regional exclusive, and for some reason the website, I don't know, the app lets you and the website doesn't. Also, when you download the app and you make an account, just do the basic account, the most basic information, which is just like email, phone number, name. Do not do the KYC regulation identity check like you would with Uphold or Coinbase. And that's because they're not KYC compliant in the United States. So if you do that, it's possible they could freeze all your assets in there. So just do the basic sign up when you first get the app, and it first prompts you to just put in your name, your email, or your you make a PIN code, you put in your phone number. Do not give your social. Do not put in your ID, okay? Yeah, you put a couple in a Shiba a few months ago, Brooke, and it's tripled. Yeah, so that'd be like a good swing trade. Would be like, you know, doing that and then putting it into something like Keanu or something else that you feel like is the next up and coming thing. And that's the way that people do really well with crypto, is they take profits and then they put their profits into the next thing that's about to be up and coming. And then you just, you know, keep trading up. It's like the story of person who traded a red paperclip for a Ferrari, or whatever it was, with like 100 different trades or whatever. Just keep building it up. Wild Sense, where can we store Keanu? Which wallets is best for storing Keanu? So I'm trying to figure out this myself, which is the best. I know that Trust Wallet supports it. If you get the Trust Wallet, if you search Keanu, it'll come up. Now the problem is that there's a pretty fat fee to take Keanu off of BitTrue right now. It's like a $70 fee at current prices, which to me is not worth it. As far as like, it's probably going to take a quite a bit of that. The amount that they airdrop you for the rewards, that 2%, I don't feel like it's enough to compensate for the fee quite yet. So my plan in this moment is to wait a little bit longer until the price is higher. And then usually when the price of an asset increases on BitTrue, they lower the fees relative to the price. So hopefully if it like 2 or 3x's, the fee will lower from 70 to like, hopefully half or less of that. So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But Trust Wallet is where you could send it if you do just want to bite that fee. I think that there's a wallet I'm hearing about called L Bank, but I have not looked into that too much yet. Gert Van Boxelaar, you are learning a lot. That's awesome. I'm really glad. I'm glad that you're able to digest it, because I know that this stuff can be like a lot for people that are newer to the space and like just learning about this stuff. But hopefully I'm explaining it in a way that is conducive to beginners as well as people that are more experienced. So what else should we look at? Let's check out XRP real quick now that BitTrue is working again. $116. It's pretty awesome. So right here is when I think this was like 1 a.m. right here when that solar flare happened, and then it just started pumping. If you missed the beginning, that was the first thing we talked about, was how this M-class solar flare literally kicked off the XRP pump today. Like the solar flare happened and then immediately started pumping. So we talked about how, like how I feel like it's because XRP is connected to like God frequency in terms of money, and how the whole fabric of reality is connected in that way. And so when the planetary bodies and the sun and stuff go through big changes, I think that's why it can affect something like the financial markets, because it's all intertwined web of consciousness. And it's just like synchronicity in a way too. So all right, well, I think I'm going to start wrapping up. Any last questions, you guys, before we head on out of here? Anything you guys want to know about with Flare or anything, even non-crypto related? What coins I hold, Rupee says. Everything you just listed there I have, except for HBAR. So XRP, XLM, XDC, Songbird. I have Quant. I have those are that and Stronghold are like my top ones, and then the other ones I have are kind of just miscellaneous small stuff. But yeah, the ISO 2022 coins are the ones that I'm really interested in, which is those ones. When does Flare come out? We don't know, but it seems like sometime. I mean, they're always saying it's like next month, but it's been that way since like April. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. I feel like personally that they are waiting for XRP to moon potentially, because if you look at the way that the rewards programs are set up, it would make things a lot more complicated, especially for us, if Flare was released before XRP mooned. Like, it would still work, but I feel like it would be better if XRP was mooned or sunned and then Flare came out, because the amount of value that would go in would be way more, and we wouldn't have to worry about this potential risk of the one risk with minting the F assets, it seems, is if XRP moons while you're holding FXRP, and your Spark collateral agent decides to run off with your XRP because it's mooned and doesn't want to return it, which they have every right to do, but they're going to be heavily fined for. So that's one incentive for them not to do that. And one good thing for your risk is, they're going to get in trouble basically and get a bunch of money taken from them if they try to take your XRP in that way. But where was I going with that? That seems to be like really the only risk is if that happens. But there's also the collateral system set up. So say an agent does default on you in the Flare minting system and they run away with your XRP, the system is set up with a collateral so that you'll get paid. I believe it's set up to be 2.5 times the amount of Spark than XRP, but I don't know if they're doing it per coin or for the US dollar equivalent value. But that seems to be the only risk. There is mitigations to prevent that, but that wouldn't even really be a risk if XRP mooned and then Flare came out, because then the value would already be there and it would already be hypothetically pretty stable. So it could be that Flare is waiting for that to happen, or they're waiting for this case to get dropped. I feel like they're waiting for some geopolitical event within, the world and like the disclosure that's coming and all that. I feel like they're waiting, and I feel like Songbird is a way that they're able to get that out now and get people start using it. And it's almost like, part of me, this is kind of a random theory, but part of me almost wondered if maybe Songbird would become the Flare network, and if Flare was almost the distraction for like the cabal, and then they're like, they put out Songbird, and maybe that's going to be more of what we're using. That would be an interesting twist, but that doesn't appear to be what's happening. It was a weird theory I thought of that I was like, maybe that will happen. Jaff says, what kind of NFTs are you going to create? Well, I personally, I'm not a physical artist. Like, I don't draw or paint or anything, so I won't be making, at least at this point in time, I don't see myself making that kind of NFT. But I think with this Flare NFT that we're talking about, that's going to give you access as a gatekeeper to the Flare NFT exchange. It sounds like, since I hold one, and for all you guys that hold one, you will be kind of a gatekeeper for getting NFTs onto the Flare module. So in that sense, I don't know, but I might, like, one of the ideas I've had is my dad's a painter, so I thought about taking my dad's art and turning it into NFTs and then putting that up. So I might be doing that kind of thing. Is that what you're asking, Jeff? Or do you mean like kind as far as like the network? Or Brooke says, I signed up and bit you a long time ago. I can't remember whether I did the advanced verification, but I hope I didn't. If you did, and for whatever reason they're just like, hey, you can't use this because you're in the US or whatever, I think you could just make a whole brand new one on the app with a new email, and I don't think you even really need your phone number, but if you do, you could use a new phone number and a different name, and that would probably work. Yeah, Roop, HBAR, I'm not a fan of HBAR because of they just, to me, they seem like the most cabal crypto out there, and I don't get why people who like XRP like HBAR so much. I guess just the financial side of it, if you're not looking at the energy and you're just like, oh, this has a really good opportunity to explode and make a lot of money, it probably does, but it's literally run by the world's biggest evil corporations, and it's not even a blockchain, it's a hash graph. So it doesn't have the same transparency that a blockchain does. It's basically like this other technology masquerading as a blockchain and sneaking itself in as a crypto, but they're ran by the world's biggest companies like Google, Boeing, and a bunch of others. And yeah, they're working with they're working with the papers, we'll say. They're working with like just the kind of things that we don't, I feel like, want to be involved with. And super, super connected to the cult of Saturn, HBAR is. HBAR's logo is the logo, the astrological logo of Saturn, like the H. It is that same logo. And Hedera hashgraph, Hedera is that ivy that spreads like crazy. So it's like, it's almost like this virus that's like they want to spread. And it's not a blockchain because everything they do is private. So it's not like a public blockchain where you can see what they're doing. They even call the feature from which these groups, these, you know, Boeing, Google, as they talk to each other within their network, they call it gossiping. So even that as kind of a weird vibe, like the whole thing feels very not good to me. And then the guy who created it, he's a guy named Dr. Lehman Baird. I get really, maybe bad is vague, but like I get abused vibes off of him. Like he's like a slave scientist kind of guy. And he just looks sad and like, you know, I don't know. I just don't get good vibes from him or HBAR in general. But I see a lot of XRP people that are like super big on a HBAR, or even who have made HBAR their number one like holding now. And I just gotta say, I don't get it. I don't get the. I think it's just got bad vibes, and it's Cabal 101 to me. Diesel Hound, I do not have VeChain. VeChain, honestly, I'm neutral about. Like I feel like it has the opportunity to do really good, but I haven't felt like investing in it because I've just felt like my opportunities are better elsewhere. Because for me, it's like the vibe has got to be good, and then it has to be a good opportunity as far as return of investment. And so I could like really support a project, but not own any, because I just feel like I missed the bus on the, you know, the main pump. So VeChain, I'm just neutral about. I'm one thing that I kind of have against it is that it's Chinese, comes out of China. So that doesn't automatically make it bad, but you know, the CCP does have like control over everything there. So what's up, Woke One? Good to see ya. Nashville. It's so funny that you bring up Nashville because we're about to go eat at this new place that just opened up in Sedona, and it's called like Nashville. It's called like Jaybird's Nashville Chicken. So I was thinking about Nashville today. Looks like XRP is starting to do a little pump again. Oh, here we go. Are we going to get the pump on the live? Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Here we go. Pump it, pump it. So we got up to about $1.20 earlier. Now we're at $1.16. Yesterday we were at like $1.04. So we're up, still up over 10%, 24 hours. I will say I'm not buying anymore right now at this specific point. One, because I don't really have a lot of fiat to buy crypto with anymore anyways, because honestly, most of my value is in crypto right now. So I don't really have much to put into XRP, but I'm thinking like, would I buy more XRP? I probably would if I had like, you know, some stuff sitting on the side that I wanted to put into crypto. I'd probably get more XRP, but maybe I'd put it in like XDC since that's a little lower today. What I like to do is to put a little bit in on the days when it's low, right? So when you see that it's in the red, put a little bit in then, and then, you know, hold and then wait till it gets green. And that's a good way to dollar cost average in. A lot of people will buy when it's pumping already, and then they're like chasing the hype, and then they end up getting dumped on because the smart money is already selling by the time they're buying. And that's like, you know, beginner kind of investing mistake. And I did that a lot too, which is why I did really bad at day trading, because I was trying to use mostly my intuition and my emotions, and the people who are good at day trading do the opposite. And I was like, well, maybe I can make it work by relying only on my intuition, and it didn't really work. It was my emotions getting in the way. So a lot of these day traders are like really about like, you know, putting your emotions to the side and like clearing the mind and not getting emotionally reactive to what you're seeing in the space when you're investing and things like that. All right, I'm gonna look through Disclosed TV on my Telegram app and just see if there's any notable news stories we can bring up, and then I'll probably get on out of here. Let's see what we got. Oh, there was a tea rally today. I forgot about that. That's good vibes. In Iowa. Okay, I actually don't understand. What is the Let's Go Brandon thing everyone's talking about? I haven't caught up with that. But someone flew over the Trump rally with a Let's Go Brandon banner. These Trump rallies are going to turn into like festivals, I feel like. There was a rapper, Kodak Black, that recently said that he would perform at a Trump rally and that he feels like he needs to do more for Trump and his cause. And I was just getting the vision, like these Trump rallies, like, you know, I hope it doesn't take the next 3 years, but if we do have to wait until 2024, I really pray we don't. But if we do, I could see that these rallies are just going to keep happening and happening, and they're going to pick up and they're going to turn into like big music festivals or concerts, and, you know, ones where you don't have to have papers to get into. Wouldn't that be something? All right, just in, Australia's Chancellor Sebastian Kurz to announce his resignation today amid corruption probe. Sebastian Kurz has resigned as Chancellor of Austria but denies corruption charges. Large protest against the vaccine passport in Rome, Italy, from October 15th. The health pass will be compulsory for Italians to get their places of work, both in the private and public sectors. Huge protests in Italy. Italy, yeah. Wow. Oh, and then Pelosi met with Pope Francis. Did you guys see that? I was like, oh, maybe they sucked each other's D's. Cases of depression and anxiety rose about 25% worldwide during the COVID-19 pandemic. I wonder why. Pretty sure it was like San Francisco even. There was more deaths from suicide from alienation during the lockdown than there was actual COVID deaths, which is just really sad. I gotta be careful what I talk about. I gotta make my backup channel quick. India, blackout warning for Delhi, 19 million population. If coal supply is not restored in 2 days, said the energy minister. Wow. Interesting. Where's their coal supply? Lebanon blackout, whole country without power. Oh, shoot. What? That's wild. Total blackout in Lebanon after 2 of the country's biggest power stations shut down due to fuel shortages. Wow, that was at 5 a.m. today. Wow, expected to last for several days. That's crazy. Are the blackouts coming? Is this like, are we leading into it? Large lava delta from La Palma volcano could collapse and generate hydromagnetic explosions, gases, and waves. Oh, I want to talk about that for a sec. And I'm going to see if I can pull up the live stream of it. So the La Palma volcano, if you guys don't know about that, I'm sure most of you do, but in the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa, but technically owned by Spain, there's a big volcano going off on a very populated island out there. And the concern is that, very similar to Hawaii, that a large portion of the island could slide off into the ocean via landslides from earthquakes and the eruptions. And there were reports done a couple years ago from scientists about this, trying to bring awareness to this, and they were ridiculed within the scientific community, and they were basically saying that, you know, this is a trigger warning for a landslide, just like with, you know, Hawaii and Kilauea, and the you know, the theory too that these directed energy weapons are stimulating these areas to create these mega tsunamis. Because what would happen is if this large portion of the island fell into the ocean, it's facing the Atlantic Ocean and facing the United States East Coast. And the report that was done like 10 years ago about this said that basically worst case scenario, which I don't believe is going to happen, but worst case scenario that they could see was that, you know, the largest part possible of the island comes off, and it basically was going to create like a 300-meter high wall of water. So that's like taller. That's like almost 1,000 feet taller than the Burj Khalifa, I'm pretty sure, in the tallest building in Dubai. And so they said that it would be, you know, of course it would mellow out by the time it reached the East Coast, but that it would really hit Florida pretty hard in that case, and that like the Keys would be flooded, and like I think they said like 30 meters high by the time it hit Florida or something like that. So way less, but still like that's a pretty big wave. And so the, you know, one of the theories is that they're stimulating this, and that the dark forces are doing this on purpose to create this. Now, alternatively, this could be natural. And one of the kind of things I've seen to point to that, well, besides the fact that the poles are moving, and we know from like the Law of One and a lot of other scientific and spiritual sources that as these pole shifts get more intense, as the magnetic and geological poles of the planet continue to shift, it's going to create earth changes. And this is connected to the sun and the solar maximum and the energy that the sun is starting to put out and the changes it's making in the planet. So it's like we have to be really discerning, number one, to make sure, you know, are these natural changes, or are these man-made? And I think both are happening, but a lot of people jump straight to the worst case, like man-made scenario first, in like kind of a doomer kind of way, like, oh, this has got to be the cabal, you know, which it could very well be. But I think it's good to remember, like, these natural things this is going to be happening more and more. And it's the earth basically like cleansing itself. And so one of the interesting things with this is that I've been watching this show on Gaia called Initiation lately, with this guy named Matthias De Stefano, and he's basically recalling memory from his times in Atlantis and ancient Egypt, and I really resonate with what he talks about. And one of the things he talks about is the Kundalini of the Earth, and I wonder if I could. I probably can't bring it up right now, but one of these days I'll bring up Google Earth and I'll show you guys. There's literally a serpent that goes around the whole earth. That's the Kundalini of the planet, and the head of it starts in the Mediterranean. You could see the head of the snake, and then it's like comes down to thin, and then it's the body of it, and it snakes around like the coastlines of the whole planet, and it's like a rugged part of the terrain that sticks out from the rest of the planet. And this is apparently the Kundalini of the earth. And so the Canary Islands, he was explaining in a more recent episode, the Canary Islands are the beginning of an energy pattern that feeds into the snake. So you have the snake, and then the snake is like basically eating this line of energy that starts at the Canary Islands. So he made this episode before all these events happened. And what he was saying was that energetic events on the planet begin with the Canary Islands. And like this is the birthplace of energies, and then they ripple out across the planet. So I don't know, that could go either way in terms of a natural thing. Like, is this, you know, naturally like the beginning of you know, cleansing energies that are going to be engulfing the planet? You know, not insinuating like every volcano is going to go off, but like, you know, in a more metaphysical way of like, you know, new Earth. Like, this is literally new Earth, right? We're watching literal new Earth being created before our eyes as this goes into the ocean and creates new land. Like, this is literally a new Earth live stream. And in that same sense, metaphysically, consciously, it kind of represents the new Earth energies, I think, and how this is the beginning of the new Earth energies moving around the planet. And maybe on the flip side, the cabal would be trying to stimulate this in the negative way, to stimulate it. Like if they have that knowledge, they might be trying to create their own ripples around the planet. So I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think this is natural, or is this a man-made thing? Or maybe a little bit of both? Oh, Burj Khalifa's 1 kilometer, 3,000 feet. So the wave was, they said it would be taller than the Burj Khalifa in this worst case scenario. So it would, I guess it was 1,000 meters. It must have been, because it was like just taller than the Burj Khalifa in the scenario they were playing out. But I don't see that happening. But it could be something they're trying to do. And I get this weird vibe like about the East Coast. Like I really feel called to Florida. I really want to go to Florida, and like I feel like there's like a new Atlantis being born in Florida in a way. And of course, it's right there next to where it seems like Atlantis was, that Bermuda Triangle area, Atlantic Ocean. I feel the strong call to Florida, but at the same time, I'm kind of nervous about like, you know, being on the coast anywhere right now, because I feel like the coastlines are kind of a tricky place to be. Yeah. Angelito says, I think the bad guys are just trying to ride this natural wave. Yep. That could be the case. Dolores Cannon has a lot of info on the new Earth. R.I.P. R.I.P. Dolores Cannon. Whew. All right, you guys. I think